simple idea that earned her the runner up position at a national level innovation competition. Leading the events vertical of Asia's largest chemical engineering symposium, founding a student tech team to tackle real world sustainability challenges. And today, applying those experiences on the refinery floor as an assistant executive at BPCL. This is the story of Bhavna, a chemical engineering graduate from IIT Bombay, working in refinery operations where she helps one of the most complex industrial systems run efficiently and safely. I'm your host, and this is the unit operation. Hi, Bhavna. I hope you're doing well. Thanks a lot
Hello, Maitri.
for. Hi, yes, thanks a lot for joining us today. So, in this episode, we'll be going over Bhavna's journey, her experience within the field of chemical engineering, and a lot of extremely insightful tidbits that she'll be sharing with us. So, Bhavna, let's get cracking. Why don't you introduce yourself to
Yes,
our
sure.
guests and tell us a bit about your journey so far?
Hello, Maitri, and very thanks a lot to for inviting me for your first session or first podcast. And yeah, so I'm Bhavna. I did my undergrad with Maitri, along with Maitri, in IIT Bombay in chemical engineering. Uh, and at present, I'm working in Mumbai refinery of BPCL in their operations in DSDS, which is diesel hydro desulfurization. So, if you are in and around Mumbai, just think I'm making the diesel which you are using. Yeah, basically.
That's
So
really
this is
awesome.
a very
Look at that.
small introduction of mine.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, she's a very hardworking and an extremely talented person. I'm so thrilled that she's here with us today. So, Bhavna, maybe let's reflect
Yes.
on our undergrad days, right? I mean, our
Yes.
undergrad years were extremely fun, and you were very active in, a lot of the extracurricular activities that happened. You were part of um, Asiotropy, which you'll be telling us a little about. You also came as a runner-up in a very prestigious competition, Invention Factory. So we're all really keen to hear about that and how that led into you, founding a tech team within chemical engineering.
Yes. Sure. So, yeah, I would start to discuss about my journey from the start, like from the time we got our JE results and how I chose my department and all. So, yeah, as everyone, I was also not sure of which department to choose and which college to choose. I wasn't thinking of getting into IIT Bombay in whichever department I get. It wasn't my intention. With my rank, I was also getting electrical engineering in various colleges, and in my JE preparation times, I was a bit interested or bit passionate to join IIT Kharagpur's electrical engineering, and for some reason I don't even know as of now, but at that point I was interested to join IIT Kharagpur's electrical engineering, but I wasn't getting a seat in electrical engineering of IIT Kharagpur. But I was getting electrical in IIT BHU, IIT Bhubaneswar, and I was getting chemical in IIT Bombay and some other few other IITs. Then there was this dilemma of should I choose IIT Bombay or IIT BHU? Should I go for electrical or chemical engineering? And I spoke with a lot of people who are students of IITs and also have done chemical engineering. So the only insight they gave to me is it's up to you what you're going to do. Just research what electrical is, what chemical is, just see what you're interested in. And uh, another suggestion I got was if you're not really sure, then just go into IIT Bombay, which will give you a lot of opportunities to explore with. So then I started browsing in Google to understand what exactly chemical engineering does, what exactly electrical engineering does, and uh, I understood that there's a lot of work within sustainability and green energy which is going on in chemical industries and chemical engineering, and I have been a little passionate about environment, green energy, and all since I was a child. So I thought, yeah, choosing IIT Bombay Chemical Engineering over electrical engineering in other colleges would be a good idea. So that's how I came into chemical engineering. Now, again, as everyone, I started to explore a lot of things in my first year and second year. And once our core courses started, I I started to enjoy chemical engineering again. So there I thought I should explore more and more of chemical engineering rather than putting my eggs in so many baskets. So I started to explore chemical engineering in depth. So this is how I entered chemical engineering and how my interest in chemical engineering actually started. And then, as you spoke about invention factory, so as everyone, again, I was stressed about what to do after my second year in summer vacations. I had no idea what to do, and one of my seniors who knows me well, he suggested me this invention factory that it's a really good program and it will give you a lot of exposure and all. So I just applied to it and I got into it. It was a 6 weeks program, and I I chose a problem statement in sustainability, uh, like for green energy. So my problem statement basically was that the perishables like fruits and vegetables get damaged, right, in villages and with farmers and all. So I thought there should be some eco-friendly, low-cost solution to prolong the lifetime of perishables like fruits and vegetables. So I and my teammate from IIT Jammu, who was a senior to us, we came up with a solution to do that using evaporative cooling, which is a basic thing. We all know we store water in matka during summers, which is a very known Indian jugaad. It keeps water cool, right? And it's because of a very basic principle, evaporative cooling, right? So we came up with that idea and we thought, let's make a chamber in which we can store fruits and vegetables, and चैम्बर के walls जो है, let's put water through those walls and let evaporative cooling happen, and let the basic principle of evaporative cooling keep the chamber cool, which can increase the lifetime of perishables. And then we again started to browse in Google Scholar, in Google and across various websites and all, and we understood there are already present solutions with similar idea. But there were some drawbacks again with every present solution. So, and then we improvised with our invention, we can say, and we thought, why not make that chamber which is for cooling and integrate that with a filtration unit. So already we are using water in that. Water ठंडा होता है and we want cool water too in summers. So maybe make it a 3-chamber system where the first chamber stores the water and filtrates the water. Second chamber may we can store perishables through whose walls the water peeps into, and third chamber collects that water and which we can drink. So this was our invention, and we made a live model of that. We used to go to a potter. We used to tell our idea to him, and through his experience and from our ideas, we came up how to actually make that. and yeah, so that's how we secured a runner-up position in that competition, and it was a really great experience. So that was about my invention factory journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So and
remember
then
that summer when you used to run to the Potter and you used to tell me about it every weekend. No, but it's pretty
yes,
amazing to see how you applied, the kind of problem solving that we learn into designing such a solution and making it entirely eco-friendly and even accessible, affordable, to all kinds of Indian homes. So, did this experience maybe inspire you to, take up a leadership position by founding a team that does sustainable problem solving, creates solutions within direct air capture?
yes, of course, because to come up with good ideas is one thing, and actually make them true is another thing. And to make them true, you should be able to lead, right? So that experience not only uh, gave me the ability to create ideas and think of ideas, but also the ability to actually put that ideas into reality. And to put that ideas into reality, you just don't need the the technical skills alone are not sufficient. You should plan, you should coordinate with various
Yeah,
people,
that's so
and you
true.
should make sure that solution is that comes into reality within time, because we had only 6 weeks of time in which we had to ideate, we had to implement, and we had to prove ourselves that it was good. So yeah, that really inspired me to uh, look at a solution in both terms of technical knowledge and also in leadership aspects. And that, yes, of course, led into me founding a team, Chemica, which now works on really interesting and really hot topic of chemical engineering. I would say that is direct air capture. So we all talk about net zero carbon and all, and that's direct air capture is one thing uh, which is going to make it a reality, net zero carbon, right? So yeah, invention factory helped me in a lot of ways.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. And this actually could encourage a lot of other people to, take a step out and put themselves into these competitions and try to ideate, come up with solutions, collaborate with people across. As you mentioned, you had a teammate from IIT Jammu, a different college altogether. So that kind of
Yes,
collaboration, the soft skills that come that can complement the hard technical skills that we learned in our courses. Uh, that was
yes.
something which you can only gain from such kind of amazing experiences. So, all the undergraduate things aside, which led into you getting placed at BPCL where you are now. So, tell us what that's like. What does a day in your life look like?
Okay. So in BPCL is oil and gas industry, right? And oil and gas industry is like the foundational industry of chemical engineering, I would say. Like like oil and gas, chemical engineering means oil and gas engineering. I wouldn't say it means oil and gas engineering, but there was a time for chemical engineers, oil and gas industry was a dream job, right? And for me to be in that industry, it's really interesting. I am in refinery operations of diesel hydro desulfurization unit, which produces the maximum amount of the total production of the refinery. So it's really interesting, and the day in my work looks like I have to coordinate with various people again and various departments to make sure that my plant is producing diesel at the highest capacity with highest efficiency without any process upsets. And if there's any process upset, my duty is to uh, you know like get the unit to its maximum efficiency as soon as possible, because one day's production loss is a lot of loss in terms of economy. So that's a day in my work, and it's really interesting. You see a lot of things. You see a real chemical plant. You see large reactors. You see large distillation columns. You see large pumps. At first, it was like, wow, I'm working in a real chemical industry. And even now, if I think about that, it's just amazing. It's good. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's really exciting, I'm sure, to be able to actually see in person what a plant looks like, everything that we've read about in our coursework. And something very interesting you
Yes.
mentioned is about the optimization that you were talking about, having to ensure that everything is going as per the required schedule, taking into account the capex and the opex. You also mentioned about sustainability. So, would you say that sustainability today is kind of changing the way that things operate on the ground?
Yes, the idea of sustainability has entered into every industry, of course, and everyone is uh, is already thinking and implementing sustainable ways into the industry. Like, and sustainability is not just about entirely changing our primary source of energy from, say, non-renewable to renewable, but if every small step towards sustainability sums up, right? So our refinery is rather a very old refinery, one of the oldest refineries in India. So considering that, you can understand it's a really energy intensive refinery, because it's a very old refinery. But every chance we get, every opportunity we get, we try to change the energy intensive units to uh, units which use less energy, which are more efficient with the same energy, so that we can be more sustainable. So every step towards conserving energy is a step towards sustainable industry. So in that way, yes, sustainability has seeped into in the mindset of every industrial person, and there's a lot of this a lot more to be done, of course, but yes, it has started. The mindset towards sustainability and net zero has started, and it's a good progress.
Oh, that's really encouraging to hear, right? Especially because now we have a lot of budding engineers coming up, such as us. We also recently graduated, so
Yes.
this is really, I guess, encouraging for what the future might look like, especially for people within core engineering roles such as us. Now, is there any kind of advice or an anecdote that helped you get through all of this and get to where you are, keep you going, motivated?
Yeah, so uh, there are so many advices which I got, but one advice that resonated me a lot and inspired me a lot is from Professor M. Sharma. He's a very known chemical engineer from India. He's a recipient of Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. You can, and so he once visited our campus for giving a lecture, and one advice he gave to all of us was, you just follow your passion, and money will follow. Right. So his intention was that don't rush towards money, rather rush towards your passion and do hard work to achieve your passion, and you will get all the success you want. So that was one of the advice which really inspired me, coming from a person who achieved a lot. So yeah, I keep on revising that statement in my mind whenever I feel low.
Oh, that is an extremely good piece of advice, honestly, because currently in the way things are extremely competitive today, uh, kind of interest gets lost in following what seems to be working for a majority of the people, and
Yes.
that kind of affirmation, I'm sure it will really help a lot of people pursue their passions and really make something out of what they enjoy doing. So
Yes.
I guess that's a great way to then end this podcast episode. Bhavna, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for these insights and sharing your journey. I'm sure that the viewers would have gained a lot from it. I certainly did, as you being a friend and also as you being a peer with a very inspirational story. And thanks to everyone for watching. We'll be back next time with more such inspirational and insightful stories. See you all next time. Bye bye.